our whole service is based around the client and really deeply understanding them, um, and 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 taking the time to not only just hear what it is that they're looking for, or but like get underneath that, go a layer deeper,
Mhm.
and I think that really that the goal that we have is we don't want to just sell them something. We want to be able to, 5 years down the road, get the invite to the barbecue.
I've spent the last 8 years embedded in our local business landscape, and I've learned one thing: facts only tell half the story. I'm Ann Donnelly. Join me for an intimate look at the minds of the innovators and leaders shaping our region. From the North Country Media Network, Upstate New York's Voices of Authority, this is Building Success Stories. So I'm here today at Realize Brokers, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys today because when I saw you guys start up, I loved the name. Right, 'cause it's kinda like realty,
Yep.
realize, it's new, it's different. You weren't affiliated with any of the large kinda agencies, so you're out there on your own doing it, and then I saw that you were actually getting results. So I'm really glad to be here today to talk to
Thank
you
you.
guys.
We're very glad to have you here.
So we'll start here. This is Spencer
Yes.
Bray.
Hello.
Spencer Bray, tell us a little bit about your background.
So my name's Spencer. I was born right here in Glens Falls. I graduated Glens Falls High School in 2013. During my time in school, I developed a strong passion for aviation. So I wanted to go into the airlines, maybe corporate flying, whatever it was. So I actually ended up going to Schenectady County Community College.
Mhm.
Got my pilot's license there when I was 18, and started working locally right here at the Warren County Airport. So I was fueling up the planes, moving them in and out of hangars. Really, really great, experience there. And I just always had a strong passion, I believe, for entrepreneurship, just kind of, the art of making money. So I was
The
at that.
art.
Yeah, the art of it. So at that time, I started buying and reselling things on like eBay and Amazon. I was very curious about, kind of how to make a buck on the side. So I'd go to these different auctions, purchase these things, and resell them for more. Throughout that, also kind of just a deep, I think, passion and curiosity with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. That's actually what led me to Nic. Right here, who is the co-founder. It's the two of us of Realize, and yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Okay, and Nick, tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah. So my name's Nic Ketter. I'm a local guy. Went to Queensberry, so I'm a Spartan, and ended up going down. Played football at UAlbany. Studied business down there, and then got a job working for GE in their
GE.
oh yeah, down in Schenectady, on their emerging technology team. And it was a really cool experience, but I learned pretty quickly that the 9 to 5 corporate life wasn't going to be for me. So I I met up with a couple of local people, and I ended up getting connected with Mark Levac. I worked for him for about 2.5 years. Learned a lot of really, really great, things from him. He was an incredible mentor. And then I started up Realize Brokers with Spencer, now going back about 5.5 years ago. And yeah, I mean, for me, like what got me into real estate, I mean, it was like always just this curiosity around, like I can remember I was in college, and there was 6 of us that were all living in like an off campus house, and we were all paying $500 a room, and then just like starting to add up the numbers of like, all right, so there's $3,000, like what are the expenses? And that's kind of where it, the embers of it started. And then, once I got into it, it just, it's kind of just, I love it. I love the puzzle of putting a deal together, of helping someone find what they're looking for, whether that be in residential, commercial, ground up development, business. So it's, that's it, I guess. That's the spiel.
So how did you meet? Because you didn't go to school together, right? But you're both local. But
Yeah, we actually did not know each other in high school, which is cool. So there was a local cigar bar right next door to this office, which is kind of cool. And so we met, right there one night, and we
that's too
actually,
funny.
yeah, we started talking about cryptocurrency. So we were talking about, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, all these different coins. And, during that conversation, I think we were both just kind of curious with, the knowledge that we had, but also, there's definitely kind of that entrepreneurial spirit that we had. And yeah, things kind of just got started right after that.
So very like-minded. You were kind of drawn.
Yeah,
together
I
for
think
sure.
that's the best way to put it. I mean, you go through life and you just connect with people sometimes, and it's just natural. And I think that was kind of the case for Spencer and I, and I think we have a shared passion for the entrepreneurial. We kind of both have that in our blood. So that was something that, I mean, quite honestly, we didn't start the first venture wasn't realized. It was called Side Gig, and it basically was an extension of what Spencer was doing, which was a lot of the eBay reselling stuff. And it was kind of like, hey, let's drive out to Boston and buy 10 Mac computers and then, wipe them and sell them on and, make a couple grand or whatever. And, we ended up doing some cool things with that, bought and flipped a plane and a grader from the city
of Glens Falls.
So like we had some good memories with that.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
But that's a good way to learn about selling,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And the marketplace and using the internet to
Just
sell.
general business skills. I think, how to form an LLC. I mean, whatever it is, it taught us quite a bit during that, which has helped us tremendously with Realize.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't want to do the typical property broker model.
Yeah, it's like, a lot of these other firms, it's just an older way of doing things, and I think Spencer and I both have a passion for integrating technology into how we help people. And that's a huge part of, quite frankly, like, you go in, in my experience, like connecting with some of these other professionals in the industry, they're not leveraging some of the technology that's out there, and that they may not even know it, but that puts them at a disadvantage. And it really puts their clients at a disadvantage.
They probably think they are, though. That's the thing. They
Of
don't
course.
know what they don't know.
Correct. Yeah.
That's
In
true.
my digital marketing career, and now we're going back 20 years maybe, when they started doing the virtual tours.
Yeah.
And I signed up for a year with a company that gave you it was actually just a fisheye lens that you had facing up, and it did a whole panoramic shot. And I thought, I'm going to make so much money because all of the realtors are going to want to work with me.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we don't want to pay any extra money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and now you can't. I mean, now with drones, it's a whole different game.
Right.
But it got to the point, though, where you needed virtual tours.
Absolutely.
I was a little ahead of my time.
So it was fascinating because when we first launched this, it was literally right when COVID was happening. And we went out and bought the Matterport technology. Spencer's a pilot, so we bought the drone technology, and we started doing all of that in-house. And that was a huge differentiator because at the time, I can remember I used to do like these little statistic things, and there was like less than 10% of houses that were on the market had a virtual tour. And it was like, we couldn't believe it, especially with COVID, because COVID was one of those things where
you couldn't go.
You couldn't even go outside without putting a mask on, So to have a virtual model of a house or of a space where people could digest that from wherever they are, it was powerful. And it definitely, I think for us, helped fuel our growth.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned on your website too, that people get to have a good feel for the property before they go out there. Because that way you're prepared.
Absolutely.
And you don't go out for no good reason.
Absolutely.
You have a good idea of what the property looks like, what the layout is.
Well, and again, I mean, you got to remember who you like, it's all about who you work for, right? And when we're representing a listing, we work for the sellers, right? And so when we work for the sellers, we want to put the property in its best light. And that's what our marketing package allows us to do is we say, hey, let's make sure everything looks good. You know what I mean?
And do you only take on properties that they will listen to you and this is how we're going to do it?
I mean, we're not rigid in that regard, but I think that generally speaking, people who seek us out because they like our product and how we put our properties out online.
Because you don't have like all the MLS listings on your website like everybody else has.
Correct.
Like,
Yep.
It's like you've got a number on there, but like you don't have like everybody else. They have all the same listings because they're just feeding into that database.
So I guess to kind of explain a little bit about how that works. So the MLS is, think of it as like the central figure, and it's connected to, well, what it does is it's called the Internet Data Exchange, the IDX, and that syndicates out to all of the websites, right? So a lot of agents, their strategy is to just, put the listings in the MLS and then kind of just, it pumps out to Zillow and Realtor and, Trulia and whatever else, right? So of course we do that, and we do our best to optimize, that approach, but we also custom build our own property page. And when we custom build that property page, we can incorporate other details that you can't fit into the template of the MLS. So you're not able to give that information through the MLS, and therefore you're able to provide more information. And so that's been our strategy, because really when someone is in the emotional process of buying something, they want information. And if you can give them that information and you can format it in a way that's digestible and it's in a way that, is nice and clean, it really, the whole experience around buying it just improves, and it makes people feel something, which
exactly
is not overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Correct.
And we've noticed that strategy has provided us quite a bit of value.
Because it's such a big decision, because it's affecting your life, it's affecting your finances.
Of course. It's one of the largest decisions most people will make in their life, I mean, where you live.
Yeah.
I mean,
or do business.
Yep.
Or do business or whatever, it's
financially, it's the big chunk.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So it's important to have all this information and not be overwhelmed.
Exactly. Yep.
So what else do you feel like you do differently?
I mean, I think it's really consistent across most agents, I would say, that are really doing it is, we put our clients first. Our whole service is based around the client and really deeply understanding them, and taking the time to not only just, hear what it is that they're looking for, but like get underneath that, go a layer deeper. And I think that really, the goal that we have is we don't want to just sell them something. We want to be able to, 5 years down the road, get the invite to the barbecue, you know what I'm saying? Or to the whatever, we're very, very sensitive to the value map, which is the perceived value that a real estate professional brings to the table, and the fees, right? Because that's, a lot of people, it's like, industry standard is industry standard, and that's what you pay. And we really like to understand our clients and hear them out, and then work with them and say, look, maybe this person wants to do it a certain way, and maybe we're willing to adjust on that front, or, maybe they want kind of more of the standard package, or maybe they want something that's a little bit more intensive. Maybe they want an approach that's a little bit more private. There's NDAs, there's this, there's that. I mean, we have a very, very white glove, premium service that's client centric. I would say really that's the biggest differentiator. And then of course the technology piece. I mean,
but you provide a range of things. So you can do the high end, like you said, the white glove service, and then you can do the things that are a bit more standard. So when you first, like, I'd heard about you guys, right? And then I was going, they're young. Like, I'm old. So, I'm like, well, they think they're going to, kill it and all this. And then I started seeing results. So I was like, what is going on here? So the first result that I was seeing was the peppermill. I'm from South Glens Falls.
Yeah.
Well, not from there, but I lived there.
Yeah. John and Vicky Osikovich, they're the best. They're the best.
So you used relationships, right? And listening and figuring out like what they really needed. So why don't you tell us a bit about that story?
Yeah.
It's public. So it's.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great story. Yeah.
So John and Vicky approached us. This was probably.
And did you know them?
No. So this was probably going back 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they heard about us, and I'm not sure who referred them in, but somebody was just like, you should go talk to the guys down there, I realize. And so they came in and they were like, explain their situation. They wanted to retire. And of course, they were very sensitive to, their employees.
It's been 30 years.
It had been over 30 years. And they had a very, very, very successful business. And but they wanted to really sell it in a private manner. And that was very important to them. And so we took the time, and I mean, we were pretty transparent with them that we didn't have much experience actually selling a restaurant. And he was, he believed in us, after those initial meetings, and we ended up grabbing all of his financials, and we put together a really nice, clean business valuation, and started to disseminate that out privately. And, of course, NDAs involved and all that stuff. And we were able to procure a buyer, and the buyer was just crazy that he had came in and he was looking, Chris Dorr, Chef Dorr, and his wife Jenny, and I actually sold him a house years prior, and he was just buzzing around Glens Falls one night and popped in and was just like, I think I want to open a restaurant down here. And I'm like, well, if you want to,
The timing could not be better.
if you want to buy, I'm like, if you want to buy a restaurant, it's like, if you want to buy a restaurant, like, I got one for you. And boom, he looked at it, and it was like, then we started the process, and then it was linking him up with the bank, and it was structuring the deal properly. So there was, enough, a structure that was going to work for both sides. But fortunately, we were all able to work through. They, linked him up with the guys at NBT Bank. They're, in my opinion, they got an incredible team. Anything commercial or business, anything like that, NBT boys, that's where it's at. And, they got it done, and fortunately we closed, and it was wild, the meeting when, like, John and Vicky, we all met with the staff, and it was like, hey, like, you're meeting,
you were there for that, right?
I was, it was emotional. It was emotional. It was a wild experience. But I mean, it's just, those two are just, they're hardworking people, blue collar. They grinded for years, and they deserved everything that they got, and fortunately it was a happy story in the end, and we were able to get it done for them.
And the pepper mill's going strong.
And it's going strong. And the
new ownership, and they haven't changed things too significantly.
No, and that was a big thing that he,
I wondered, because he'd been working at, higher end restaurants in Saratoga. Didn't know if he would try to, but it's kind of like a diner, family restaurant, but still going strong. And that's always good to see.
It's great to see.
Yeah. So it's a good, I love seeing things getting developed down in South Glens Falls.
It's the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
True. And they were very careful about all that. So this is not your usual property transaction, because they're selling a business. Or, and they wanted it done a certain way, because there's certain businesses, like, as soon as you see a for sale sign, people start to panic.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But they had their staff. They wanted to be sensitive about that and make sure they're taken care of, and their customers as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, people start to, so you handled it well.
Thank you. Yeah.
You did the relationship part of it, because that's what I wondered, how much of it is relationship.
Oh, it's all relationships.
You're from here, a lot of people, but what do you do to continue to build new relationships?
I think a big part of it is
just getting out there, meeting new people. We've also noticed not just the cigar bar, we've also noticed, like, lunches are very popular, so some old friends, whoever it is, that you haven't maybe spoken to in a while, it's like, just go out to lunch, talk to them. I mean, there's new ideas all the time that can come from it. So, it's just kind of getting out there, I think, and just living.
A big part of it, and I think too, it's the social circles that you put yourself in, and then the way you treat people. I think that's really. I mean, if someone interacts with you and they have a good experience, then the next time you see them, they're going to be friendly. And it's like that's. I feel like that's just like human nature, kind of 101 thing. Yeah,
what you give out, you get back.
Exactly.
Well, and referrals are a big thing in property too.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't any type of business, but even more so.
Even more so in real estate. Yep.
Well, and I think, like, on that point, when we're talking about referrals, like, we feel very blessed because we have so many incredible professionals locally that like we have the most utmost confidence in. We're saying, look, if we refer somebody to MBT, like they're going to take care of them, and that's the key piece. And
That's
when you
important.
do that
It needs to
enough,
be a good referral.
correct.
Yeah.
Like, we're not giving out referrals.
Not just, I know this guy, he's my cousin or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, these are people that we've vetted, we've worked with, we know.
Attorneys, plumbers,
Yeah, they're not gonna let
HVAC,
you down.
electric, whatever it is.
Inspectors,
We've
Because
got that.
Because it weighs on you. It's a reflection on you.
Exactly.
If it's not a good experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and really the network of those professionals that you're able to refer out to, throughout the process of a real estate transaction, that's also ultimately also what makes the experience smooth.
Yeah.
Because when you're referring them out to people that are doing a good job, then a good job is done.
Yeah. And in a property transaction, there's a lot of different people that need to get involved.
Absolutely.
You've got your banks, you've got legal, you've got
the inspectors, like Nick said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge Rolodex of people.
I gotta say too, golf. I mean, I'm a big golfer. I love golf.
Oh,
so golf,
the G word.
Golf's a big way to network for me, at least.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's not uncommon.
Yeah.
Yes. But only certain times of the year.
That's true. Unless you hop on a plane, though, in the wintertime and go down to Florida.
Because now we've got hometown or golf simulators and various
Yep, exactly.
Or, if you thought about, like, how far of an area physically are you covering?
So, I mean, right now, the real estate business, we're really staying relatively local. I mean, we have properties that we represent that are in the Saratoga area, and
we just closed on one in Albany about 2 months ago. Yeah, month and a half ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I would say, like, we go north, a little bit north of Lake George, but I think so I think what's important to understand is there's different asset classes, right? And so we just have realized brokers. We, essentially do all of them. We'll do vacant land, we'll do residential, we'll do, commercial, obviously. And then, I mean, we've even gotten into some apartment leasing. That's been something that, has been a new, kind of revenue, vertical for us. And then of course the business brokering. And quite honestly, the business brokering is something that Spencer and I in particular are very interested in, more of a geographical expansion of. The real estate is, as you kind of alluded to, is very, very, very reliant on relationships. So for us to start, rolling down to Albany and thinking that we're going to just be like running with the big dogs, like, that's not really how it goes.
It's
like,
tough.
You have to know people. People have to trust you, and it takes time to build those connections and those relationships. So but in the business side of things, there's I don't want to say there's not as much, but there is certainly more opportunity to connect with people that have needs.
And we're also very good at it too. Throughout all the business valuations.
Here.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it multiple times, and we can consistently sell a business. So we're very kind of excited, I think, to get more into that.
Mm-hmm. So you had another kind of well publicized transaction in Lake George. Was that a whole island?
Oh yeah.
Yes, that was the Green Harbor Mansion.
Yeah.
So
those are nice projects to get involved in, I'd say. Or are they more trouble?
Oh my God, it's like, feel so blessed to have sold that one. And there's a lot of that one is just it's an incredible piece of real estate. I mean,
3.3 acres right on Lake George. We sold it for $6.5 million about 3 years ago.
Yeah. And I mean, it was one of those ones that just so much history, and there was so many layers to that particular deal that we were able to work through over the course of time with with the seller and then with the people who ended up buying it, and they've got some pretty interesting plans that are actually, I don't know how familiar you are with what's going on up there and what they're proposing, but so yeah, they're looking at converting the mansion to an event venue. And
a lot of people are going that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about weddings on Lake George, it's, I mean, people are spending big bucks, and and that's it's just, I mean, it's an incredible point, you know? So yeah, it was a cool one for sure.
Great.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one to have.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
What do you have going on at the moment? Anything exciting?
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, I wish I could tell you.
This weather's getting better. I
Yeah.
don't know if this is seasonality. Like a lot of people don't want to be thinking about this in the wintertime.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the difficult thing about this business is, there's only so much that we can say right now, as far as
absolutely.
what's
I
in the
get it.
works.
Yeah.
We've got the Sorrentinos Market and Deli right now for sale
I
in
saw
South Glens
that
Falls.
too.
Yep.
South Glens Falls again.
Another South
I'm
Glens
like,
Falls.
when
Yeah.
am I going to get my sandwiches?
I know.
Well, one of the
Well-
things that was a little, I don't want to, a little frustrating was, we had put out this nice video kind of showcasing, Rich and the Market and Deli, and then
And
like-
the opportunity.
and just the fact that it's for sale, and like, hey, listen, like, somebody comes in and gives him the number that he's looking for, like,
Yeah.
he'll sell, and then everybody took it as just kind of how you had just
He's
said, like,
finishing up. I
he's
know.
done, like he's
Yeah.
closing. It's like that's not the case.
He's
Like,
putting out the feelers. if
Yeah, I
it's
mean-
worth doing or not.
well, he has an existing business and he has something to sell. I mean, he's got, he's been there for years and
He has
years
another one in
Clifton Park. Yeah,
Yep.
he did close that
That
one up.
location
Oh, is that
closed.
closed?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I guess I'd like to just PSA, like, they are still open. Sorrentino's is still open.
Yep.
And
still has really good sandwiches and stuff.
We actually had lunch there earlier today.
We did.
So,
We did.
yes.
Yeah.
We love their subs. Yeah.
They
yeah,
have good subs.
Yeah.
So Sorrentinos. So if
Sorrentinos.
you're thinking of buying a Market Deli,
We got another one
South-
coming up.
beautiful South.
Listen, I got one in South Glens Falls that, and I think you'll like. Yeah, but it's I can't talk about it right now,
Okay.
but a couple months from now, I think it's a cool
That's
one.
good because I like seeing things getting developed down there.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been living there about 8.5 years.
It's a great area. It really is. Yeah.
I mean, the biggest challenge from my understanding is just the ability for developers to be able to come in and get approvals for their projects.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge deterrent right now. Like
Yeah.
I know, because I've represented a few different pieces of
Yeah.
property down there, and it's like,
That's the other individuals involved that we didn't mention earlier is when you're getting into zoning and things like that.
Of
well, they have no
course.
control
Yeah.
over it, but there's cost. There's hard
Yeah.
costs, and developers, they want to come up here. And that's Saratoga County. I mean, there's people that want to invest in that, but if it's going to take 2 years to get an approval for a project,
They're going to move on.
they're going to look at
Exactly.
something else. You know what I
Because
mean?
there was some article that I was assigned to, and I was talking to the developer because it was something that was going to happen down in Moreau. And he's just like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, let me know when you know. And it
Yeah,
was like,
right.
I kept following up with him, and it was still like, I'm still waiting. So I can imagine his frustration. I think he ended up moving on.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
They get to a certain
Yeah.
point and they say, well, it's not, things are, kind of stagnant, and let me move on. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're right here on the corner of South and Glen. It's one of my favorite corners. It's so beautiful.
thank you. I mean,
Um,
we love it here. I mean, also, factoring in, Bonaccio's got, 100 plus units coming up. We've got
yes.
Patton,
Yeah,
you know,
South Street is
South
gonna
Street.
be,
It's
like,
there's going to be
amazing.
yeah,
It's already
150
starting. Some things have opened up already.
exactly. New restaurants going in, new businesses. So we're very fortunate to be here. We love this corner, and we're going to be here
Yeah.
for some time.
No, it's
So
great. It's
yeah.
a great spot. You can see everything going on, which I think is important in your business
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
you can feel the energy of this city. It's a city, right? Small
Absolutely.
city. Just going past here, all the traffic, all the people.
I
It's a
mean,
good
No.
thing. Like Glens Falls is a good city.
It's a great
I
city.
mean, I'll tell you what, the restaurants that have popped up in this little community, I mean, there's some really fantastic restaurants. And
Yeah.
I mean, you could go down the whole, I mean, it's like we can name every one in the city, but it's like they really, there's like a little bit of a renaissance going on with the restaurants up here. And I think it's going to continue, and it's bringing in people from some of those surrounding areas.
Yeah.
And then like the nighttime, like if there's a hockey game, like good luck.
Definitely, right?
You
Where are
know?
you gonna park? Where are you gonna
Absolutely.
eat?
Yeah.
Southpaw's like one of the better
Our
places to
neighbors,
go
yeah, right next door.
after a Thunder game. But it is getting known outside the area. Now, I know a lot of people moved up here during COVID
Mhm.
from the city and other more populated areas.
Yeah.
Did that contribute at all? Like, you started during COVID, but
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of people that were just like, again, like, I mean, they were, New York State was making people put up, pieces of plastic in between you at a restaurant, you know what I mean? And you had to wear the mat. Like, people were coming up here and they were like, man, it's beautiful up here and there's space and
the
like
outside.
the prices are cheaper.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what are we doing? And
We
that
saw
happened.
a giant push up
Hybrid or
87.
remote working.
Yep.
I think the big thing though too is that a lot of people don't like take the COVID push was huge, but the housing market in this whole area, capital region beyond, really it absolutely boomed right around the COVID time because of the interest rates. The interest rates were so low.
I bought my house
And
just before the interest rates went up. So I got very lucky.
You got very
it
lucky.
was just like, yeah, I mean, so what was if you don't mind, like what was the rate?
I can tell you.
It was probably sub 4. It was
Yeah.
probably sub 4.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's
So I was lucky too, because I was dealing with Tisha Mahaley.
Yeah.
Who I met through women in business stuff that I do. And she was kind of like, Ann, like, if you get this in right now, you're going to be in good shape. And it was like, yes, okay, good. She did that for me.
Yeah.
So, she's at NBT now.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. They're building an all-star team over there at MBT Bay.
Right?
Yeah.
Shout out, Tisha.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're great over there.
So that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And relationships. That's the thing too. But like, yeah, that was hard looking at properties.
Well, I guess the point was like,
yeah.
there was so much.
Developers were buying stuff up so quickly, it wasn't giving people that actually wanted a home much chance.
Yeah. I mean, just records were just being broken every sale. It was just like, oh, boom, like you put it up for sale and it was just going
Multiple
up,
offer,
going up,
multiple
going
offer.
up, going
Yeah.
up.
But
And,
you had to get out there right away,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
get an offer in quickly.
yeah.
But
So that was like, and I mean, it's still, the inventory has been very low. We're speaking more in residential right now. Commercial has been relatively stable. There's always deals that are available even when rates are higher, because a lot of times commercial is more dependent on the sellers and when they're looking to sell.
Yeah.
But residential is one of those ones where like a lot of people right now are just sitting on it because they're gonna sell their house and then go buy something else and they're gonna trade out of a rate. That's
the problem.
It makes no sense. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of logical sense in it. So the only people that are really selling right now are, maybe the people that are looking to retire or they have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to say it like that, but
no,
it's,
I know. But like financially, to do it financially soundly, like, it's not the best time. But,
Yep.
I mean, there's equity. A lot of people have gained a lot of equity, but
they might need to downsize or.
Yeah. The difference with the commercial stuff is the commercial loans typically have a 5-year term.
Yeah.
So at the end of 5 years, you got to figure something out. You got to refi or sell, So there's a natural turnover with that you don't have in residential, because residential could be a 30-year term.
Yes.
They're not, there were a lot of people that I did see, they got 10-year, average variable rate mortgages, ARM mortgages, where they were able to get a lower rate, but then it's a 10-year term, so they'll need to refi within 10 years, but chances are the rates, I mean, they already have come down a little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully they continue.
That's the goal.
Is there anything else that you can foresee for the future? Any advice for people that might be looking at property or other things in the area?
I mean, you can go Spence if you want. I mean,
I think this area, in general, I think it's a very desirable area.
Yeah.
I think that has become very evident for a lot of people. And I'm just very, I would say, bullish on the general area, especially, Glens Falls right now. We're kind of seeing this boom in Glens Falls. So I love kind of being here in the city and also just, like I said, the area. So very optimistic of overall growth here in this area.
Do you think it's going to make it less amenable, though, to the people that are originally from here? Like, I know a lot of it is to our benefit, nicer restaurants and things, but like, I lived in Ireland for a while, and I
hmm
lived in a place that was really touristy in the summer.
hmm
And so, like, the local people didn't like going downtown
Yeah.
on the weekend when it was really busy.
Yeah.
It was like,
And we see some of that with, the village of Lake George, right? Like during
yes,
the
true,
summertime, it's a
true.
lot of
Right,
locals, they prefer to,
right. Or
maybe stay
Saratoga, they
away.
get out of town and
Exactly.
rent their houses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, the reality is we live in a very touristy area,
This is a different kind of development here too, because some of it is community minded, like with the farmers market,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and the
Of course.
shops and things that are going to open up. Like, they are very much more something that's building this community into something next level, really.
Yeah,
Dog
absolutely.
spa.
Dog spa, yes.
We're getting a bubble tea place.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I actually put that lease together.
Yeah.
So yeah, yep. Very excited about them.
Very exciting.
Young couple from Plattsburgh. They've got a very successful bubble tea shop already up there, and they've loved Glens Falls, and they wanted to open up a business here. So it's super exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, different types of things, because I was walking down the other day. I was at the Golden Monkeys.
Yep.
And my first time at the Golden Monkey, and then walking down the street, looking in, wondering, like, what is going to be in here? Like, guessing, like, is it going to be another bar?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then you start to hear, like,
Yeah.
bubble tea coming.
Yep. They'll also be doing smoothie bowls and just various coffees and stuff. And I think they'll do really well. They do a lot on social media, big presence online, and then they also do quite a bit of like Uber Eats and DoorDash. So yeah, I think
That
they'll
helps.
I
That
think they'll do
helps
really well.
add to the business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very exciting.
It is.
So no other sort of trends or what you
Yeah.
see coming?
I mean, I think, just to Spencer's point, like, the Adirondacks, I think is like a major, it's like underrated. I think a lot of us take it for granted, and just how beautiful the area that we live in really is. And I mean, there's people that, you think of like these other geographical areas, like throughout the United States even, and like the Adirondacks is one of those places, like to these
Yeah.
other, like, and like that's a thing, and Lake George is like, one of the best lakes in the U.S. It's like we live in.
Cleanest and when keeps
It's the
winning.
queen. Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, so I think. I mean, you go to some of these other states and some of these other areas, and there's a lot more opportunity for development. There's a lot, like from like a statewide and then like a local municipality level. There's more support for development.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
it's, of
absolutely.
course, it's a very delicate dance, because we have so much beautiful nature up here. But I believe this is an area that developers in general would want to continue to invest in over the course of time. But regulation can be a major deterrent,
Yeah.
to actually seeing that play out. And because I think, to your point, like, of kind of maybe like the pushing out of like the natural community that's been here for a long time, I don't really think that's going to happen, because I think this community is very, very strong. But what allows for the demand for this area to get filled up is that development.
Yeah.
It's that, hey, let's put up another housing, in the logical areas. You know what I mean? And but
Careful development.
it's got to be
Very
careful. It's got to be
mindful,
thoughtful.
sustainable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's just my, I guess. But I mean, like, to the listener, I mean, look, real estate is non-renewable. They're not making any more of it. And I mean, we feel very fortunate to have a lot of clients that, as they've made purchases on homes and different investments, they've all done pretty well, so
Yeah.
I guess that's, as just a general thing, it's, real it can be a very, very good, wealth
Preservation vehicle.
wealth preservation.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, you two are the founders. You have a couple other people working here.
We do.
Are they
Yep.
both agents, or?
They are, yeah.
Yeah,
So we've
so
got
two
Matt
agents.
Rafferty, who works for us.
Mhm.
So Matt, he's excellent. So him and his wife Kara, they're opening up Hometown right across the street. So they're wonderful. So Matt, he's handling all of our new construction home builds right now for us with Foothills Builders. And then we also have Megan Durkin working for us. She's handling a little bit more residential side of things. And then also some of our rentals that we're doing right now. So apartments, all the leasing, and Megan's doing a wonderful job. So it's the four of us.
Hope to grow, do you think?
One of the big things that
got a beautiful space here.
We do.
One of the things we're very, very conscious of is that anybody who's going to come and work for us, we want them to be making money. You know what I mean? We don't want to just
it's not going to be sustainable.
We're not just going to set them up and say, all right, go sell real estate. It's that, and it's not, our approach is more of we want to have these revenue verticals where we can help feed that, you know what I mean? And kind of help support that and, set our people up to an extent, so it is sustainable. And then of course, build the right training, and also build the right systems and processes through technology. And that's been, quite honestly, that's been a huge focus of ours is leveraging different software tools to really automate aspects of the back end of what it is that we do. Yeah. And that allows us to then identify these verticals and then invest in, setting them up and, setting them up the right way. So the client and, our agents are both happy and everybody's doing well.
Yeah. And we've been very methodical about doing that, because we've had a ton of different people reach out to us. They've recognized the growth within our company. They've recognized that, they want to work here. And so we've been very strategic about, how we've gone about that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
And I mean, real estate in general, and kind of going back to that question early on about what separates us is even that approach is different from the other brokerages, because the other brokerages, it's an eat what you kill. It truly is an eat what you kill business.
Yep.
But we don't look at it like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're not just bringing people in and say, all right, go out and sell, that's not what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And so that's a big part of the reason why we have a small team.
Yeah.
Because we really want it to be to where, hey, if they're coming in and working for us, hopefully that will last a while.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because you're very mindful of how you're running your business and you want to keep that.
It
can control.
Yep. So we can control it, but we also, we really want that steady growth year over year.
Yeah.
So
it takes a lot of time to build up consumer trust, and couple bad experiences, you can lose it in buckets,
Yeah.
So I think for us, we're very mindful of that and of the product and the service that we put out there, and it's worked so far. I mean, we're going to keep rolling.
So if anyone wants to work with you,
hit us up.
Absolutely.
Your website is
realizebrokers.com.
realizebrokers.com.
That's
I'll
it.
have more information in the show notes.
Thank you for joining me and listening to the Building Success Stories podcast. Subscribe to the show so you never miss a lesson from our region's most influential voices. And if you found value, the best way to support the local business community is to share this podcast with one other leader who needs that spark today. For more information on the North Country Media Network, visit northcountry.media.